Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have the June My Ireland box, which has been once again sent to me for review by the amazing Catherine and her team. If you're not familiar, this lovely monthly lifestyle box all the way from Dingle, Ireland contains beautiful lifestyle items from different Irish makers, so there's often some delicious treats. There's always a wonderful booklet that Catherine puts together with information about Irish traditions and what's going on in Ireland at the current time of writing. There's always a recipe card if you want some delicious Irish treats and you want to make them in your own home. They also have a really active Facebook group where subscribers share their takes on the items that are in the boxes and how they've been using them, how much they've been enjoying them. And this box is just really fun for anyone who has an affinity for Irish culture. Maybe it is a cherished memory, maybe you have family from Ireland, or maybe it is just somewhere that you would like to go. It's a great way to sort of travel by subscribing to a box. The box itself is just $49.95. That is in US dollars per month. Of course, there is a little bit of a deal, and sometimes there's a bonus gift or some perk for doing a longer month subscription in terms of like 3 months or 6 months or even an annual subscription. The shipping all the way from Dingle, Ireland to the States is $15.50, and I do have a code for you that will save you, I believe, still $5. It's just Maui, M-A-U-I, so from one island to another, essentially. But I'll leave all of that information for you in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get into this June My Ireland box. So it is good that it takes a little while to get to me here on the West Coast, but she always asks in the Facebook group, you know, don't share the contents as soon as you get your box because lots of people like to be surprised. Let me know in the comments, are you someone who really loves mystery boxes and you love that surprise, or do you like spoilers? Because I know that we have definitely mixed opinions on that. I can see how with this box it is really fun to just always have a surprise and trust that everything inside is going to be lovely. We always have our bright green tissue paper here and a little My Ireland box sticker, of course, and then I usually go ahead and kind of pull the bundle out if I can, carefully, of course, because sometimes there are fragile items, because at the bottom is where you'll usually find the booklet that Catherine puts together as well as the recipe card. So I was able to pull everything out, so I'm just gonna kind of slip everything out if possible. Ooh, I am seeing something familiar. So sometimes there are repeat products, so if you've been a subscriber for 2-3 years, sometimes there are favorites and subscribers make requests to have those items or at least those brands represented again. I myself have some favorites. They are usually the edible treats, I will say that. Those jelly stars that I think we get maybe once a year, always a favorite. There's also usually a sheep themed box, and I haven't heard word of if that is happening yet this year, but my goodness, I am hoping that it is, because the sheep themed box, I don't know, I associate sheep with Ireland and New Zealand, of course, but that box always just makes me so happy. So let's take a look at our recipe card. They always do some beautiful food photography, and the recipe card this time around is delicious berry scones or scones from Slayhead, County Kerry. So it looks like these are pretty easy. I did actually see someone in the Facebook group, they kind of did the spoiler of what the recipe card was, but they did make the scones, and I think that is great. I would love to have more time to make some of the recipes that we get in this box and others, but I don't currently have that. The YouTube is not my full-time job, but one day, maybe if it is, then I will start adding some of that content as well when I get to really use the products or make the recipes. And then here we have our booklet. So the June theme was dreaming in Ireland, always lovely. And then of course Catherine not only puts together the text, the copy of the booklet, but she also takes all of the gorgeous photographs that make you really feel like you are there. So I'm not sure if we have a spoiler on what next month's theme is. Sometimes there is. So it does say, fancy basking in summer city life in Ireland's capital? Well, we've curated that experience for you. We offer something very unique here in My Ireland box as we curate whilst immersed in the spirit of Ireland. We spent years working in Dublin and loved the summers there, and so we're really excited to send the spirit of Dublin during this time of year to you. The Book of Kells, the famous Dublin pubs, Grafton. It says, the Epic Museum of Irish Immigration. It is a city of wonder to those that love Ireland, and I cannot wait to take you there. You will love it. So here, you guys, you can see this booklet is pretty, like, quite a few pages, and I know a lot of you really love to just pour through it and read all of the details. And like I said, she does have beautiful images to go along with, so telling us about the season, and it's really written like a letter from a friend. I think it's kind of cool because, you know, we don't get those these days. We used to have pen pals across the world, and now it's like Catherine is your pen pal, but with a really, really good letter every single month. So then there is usually a section that says, let's meet the makers, and then it tells us a little bit more about the products, and that's what I really focus on, of course, in these unboxings, because that's what you guys want to see, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. So let me just see. Of course, they do include the booklet as one of the items inside, because there is a lot of information that goes in there. She really puts a lot of effort into it, as well as the recipe. And then in addition to that, it looks like this time around we have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. So it always varies. Like, I think one time we had maybe 3 items, just because sometimes the value can really range. And I think sometimes we've had like 7 or 8 items. So that is always a surprise as well. So I'm going to prop this up in front of me because, like I said, I did see something familiar, which is these Cleves Irish Confectionery Original Iced Caramels, which is sort of this like traditional candy that I think a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia about, that they're now creating once again. They're very like different than what I was expecting. So the icing is actually sort of crunchy on the outside, and then you have that nice chewy caramel on the inside, but they're harder than what I was first expecting when we got these. I think this might be like maybe the third time that I've gotten these, and they always go pretty fast in my house. But what's really nice about these is they're not something that you're just going to plow through the whole bag, which is something that I do with things like popcorn or chips. These, like, they really do satiate that sweet tooth for a good amount of time, so I kind of like them for that, because I can do 1 or 2 of them and then, you know, pause and wait for my next round. So this is Leo from Hazelbrook Confectionery from Newbridge, County Kildare. And then this is, of course, in the voice of Catherine. I love speaking with Leo on the phone, as he is so entirely passionate about bringing back all of the old Irish sweets. He's revived Haji Bay, and I know many of our members love their jellies that we sent last September, and I will send more, I promise. Now on to these old school iced caramels. My grandfather loved these, as did my grandmother from Cork and her 2 sisters, my grandaunts Eileen and Frida, and I honestly forgot about them until I spotted them in the shop a few years ago, and they brought back some lovely memories. These iced caramels were once a household name and have been revived some 30 years later now by Leo and his team, and are thriving on their reputation from times past. He is bringing back so many of the old Irish sweets and making them in his factory in Kildare, bringing nostalgia into all of our lives with each sweet savor. He made a special batch just for my Ireland members on short notice, I must add, and yes, I am enjoying an iced caramel as I write this. Yum! I've sent these to our members before, and they are adored. The emails that stand out the most that I've received about these caramels were from grandchildren that brought for their grandparents who emigrated from Ireland, and when they saw the iced caramels, they were so emotional as they brought back lots of childhood memories from Ireland. That is so cool. So grandchildren now living in the States, or not in Ireland at least, who remember them from their childhood, remember their Irish grandparents bringing them. So here is an image of what they look like. So pink or white on the outside, and then that nice lovely ooey gooey caramel on the inside, and they are really delicious treats. So the next item is different. I don't think I've seen this brand before, but look at this lovely sort of satiny pouch. I feel like that just kind of speaks luxury, doesn't it? So this is from Meeb Silk Scarves, you guys. I'm very excited. Forged in fire, worn by classic beauties everywhere. Well, we all fancy ourselves classic beauties, right? So it looks like, oh, we've got a little coupon card in here and more information about Meeb Silk Scarves. It says the vibrant tones of color you see on Irish jewelry designer Claire O'Neill's silk scarves are literally forged in fire. Claire has been creating enamel jewelry all her life alongside her mother, Maeve. Oh, so it's M-E-A-B, but it's spelled Maeve or Meave. So look how beautiful this is, you guys. It looks like swirling paint, doesn't it? And it looks like the image that's in the booklet is totally different, more of a hot pink. So it says, Claire has been creating jewelry all her life, and she set up the eponymously named Maeve Enamels in 1963 during a recent quiet spell, aka the panda. And says she embarked on a series of explorations to see how she could extend her beautiful and vibrant designs to other media. Beautifully soft textiles soon proved to be the perfect canvas to display and bring life to bring to life the vibrant colors and natural curves and twists of her design. So this is the same scarf. I think everyone got the same scarf. So it's hot pink in the center, and then it's almost like got like an ombre design where the swirls are kind of at the ends, but look how beautiful and vibrant and wispy that is. Almost kind of looks like the wings of a really wild colored butterfly, you know, when they have those sort of like points on it, like the paint points. So I think this is really cool. Let me go ahead and turn the page so I can read a little bit more about it. So it says each design is created using Claire's bespoke open fire enameling process. A hand-cut copper plate is prepared as the base for the design. Look at this, you guys. And then shaped and crafted to allow the enamel powder to adhere to it. Claire chooses the colors, and then the magic happens when the fine glass enamel powder melts and intermingles to produce tones of color. It takes an eye for design as well as precision, a steady hand, and a cool head. Figuratively speaking, the temperature required to melt the powders has to be 1450 degrees Fahrenheit. 1450 degrees Fahrenheit, you guys. Loved by classic beauties everywhere and long acknowledged as a vital accessory by style icons such as Queen Elizabeth and Irish-Australian actor Genevieve O'Reilly, who is an enthusiastic fan of Maeve Scarves, we love ours just as much. So I didn't realize that was probably the Irish spelling. Maeve is a much, it's a popular name again. So I've been hearing it a lot more. So look how beautiful this is. So just a perfect summer scarf, right? Nice accessory with your white tank top or shirt just for those cooler summer evenings when you're out at the park or an outdoor concert maybe, but with that beautiful vibrant color. And yes, it is hot pink, but as some of you know, if you have heard me say that I'm not usually a fan of pink, I do like more jewel tones. So this more fuchsia color I do think is really lovely, and I just think this is so great because it's going to highlight so many different colors that you might be happening to wear. All right, we have another item. So let's see what this is. I believe this is from the Irish Natural Handmade Soap Company, but it's all wrapped up. So let me see if I can get into this. They wisely put it into some plastic just in case there was any spillage. It says, Donna and Gemma began their story with their kitchen back in 2010. Armed with 2 pots, some elbow grease, and the most natural ingredients imaginable, the Handmade Soap Company was born. They started out small, selling their lovely handmade soaps at farmers markets and to kind neighbors, and from there things just grew and grew. Pots got bigger, the range blossomed, and they added a few more hands on deck. However, their mission remains the same: to bring pure, heartfelt joy to their customers every day so that even the small things feel precious. I love that mission. That is so great. Oop, I had it upside down for you. So here is what it looks like upright. Using thoughtful essential oil blends in Nature's Pantry, they have lovingly created a range that will boost your mood and your skin in equal measure. And oh, does it smell divine. Put simply, the little tube of wonder from Ireland is everything you need to grab life by the happy. So go grab it with both hands. We love natural here at My Ireland Box. The handmade soap's lovely products are made with coconut derivatives, vegetable emulsifiers, and scented with essential oils. There are no SLSs, parabens, petrochemicals, or rush hours included. 99.7% of their products are all natural. The other 0.3% is the binding agent and preservative, which makes the body lotions behave so wonderfully. No product is ever tested on animals, and rightly so. The cards in their packaging is from sustainable sources and printed with vegetable-derived ink. A perfect little treat to have in your handbag or handy place. We love ours and are delighted to share one of our favorites with you this month. So let's see, and now that I can actually take a look at it, grapefruit and Mei Chang. I've never heard of Mei Chang, or I don't know. I don't know what that is, but grapefruit means it's going to be nice and citrusy. It looks like there's an image where there's different scents, so let me know if you are a subscriber of this and you got a different scent, but I am very excited about it. I've never heard of what Mei Chang is. I'm wondering if it's like an herb or another fruit, but grapefruit makes me very happy, and it seems perfect for the summer as well. So next, we have something that is very carefully wrapped, and I do appreciate that their shipping department is very ginger with my items, because I do like to take photographs for Catherine for my Instagram page where I do some product photography. So if you're not following me over there, I would love to see you over there. And this is a very vibrant crisp bags that I'm going to be very ginger with, because crisp bags, as much as they do their job and as beautiful as they can be, they don't travel very well, right? They get a little bit crinkled. Not as crinkled as the crisps inside once I get to munching them, but look how vibrant that is. So it says, this is O'Donnell's crisp from County Tipperary. Since the 1700s, over 7 generations of the O'Donnell family have lived on Seskin Farm, County Tipperary, and have mastered the art of cultivating the perfect potato. Seskin Farm is situated in the valley between don't know something mountain and the River Sur, with the Cumra Mountains behind to the south. It is within the Golden Vale, an area renowned for rich soil, pasturage, and beauty. In 2007, Ed O'Donnell, a young 7th-generation farmer, wanted to diversify as farming was looking bleak at the time. To make crisps from the potatoes grown on his farm, Ed believed it was important that the product and flavors were Irish and artisan, so he sourced local food producers to give the crisps fantastic individual flavors. And in 2010, O'Donnell's crisps were born. One of Ireland's favorite crisps, the O'Donnells say the secret is the perfect potato. We love this flavor for a complete change from the normal cheese and onion or sea salt. Let your taste buds experience a little shenanigans from Ireland. They will love these. And these are sweet chili. Yes, a little like Thai vibe going on there. So how fun. And I just love how everything in this box is going together with all these pinks. So we have our pink scarf, we have, you know, those pink crisps, we have our pink beautiful caramels. You see all the color going on here, and even our grapefruit hand cream is going in that color palette. So what a beautiful image this will make once I get around to it. And then we have one final item, which is also in a lovely pale pink, and this is a book. Now I know some of you are not fans of getting books in boxes. Let me know in the comments below if you are one of those people. It's totally understandable. I think she maybe sends a book once a quarter. It's not always a novel. Sometimes it's a book of poetry. Sometimes it is nonfiction. Sometimes it is a recipe book. So, but maybe, I would say maybe every 3 months we'll get a book as one of the items in this box. So it says, One for Everyone, curated by Kathleen Watkins from Howth County, Dublin. So it says, in 2020, I sent to our treasured members Kathleen's first curation of poems. It is called The Ordinary Woman and Other Poems I Love. I had been given it as a gift for Christmas by my parents-in-law, Tom and Geraldine. I did always love Patrick Kavanagh's poems and, of course, Seamus Heaney's work, but I never felt the need to purchase a book of poetry. If a nice poem came my way, I appreciated it and perhaps reread it a couple of times and put it away to remember another time. It was some weeks after that Christmas that I took up this book, and when I did, a new flame began to light within me. I knew that this was the beginning of a real and different appreciation and love for poetry as an adult. Thanks to Kathleen Watkins, really. It was the way she explains poetry in her introduction to the book. She wrote that poetry paints a picture, often of everyday life, and using few words can say so much. She marvels at the fact that you could try to come up with a way to say something that could take us a week to describe, but a poet can say it in just one line. In reading the poet's word, we can see so clearly the scenes that they paint. So when Kathleen brought out her second curation of more poems that she loves, and I was given the second book to cherish by Tom and Geraldine, I was delighted indeed. I've wanted to send this second collection, is what I'm guessing the next word is, but let me turn the page. The second compilation to our members for a long time, and I finally found a place for it in the June 2023 My Ireland box. Kathleen, in her introduction here, explains that her love for poetry was instilled by the nuns who taught her. I too was taught by nuns, but poetry remained just within the school curriculum, although we were encouraged in boarding school to read many books and extra points if those were in Gaelic. Kathleen mentions that the joy of a good collection of poetry is that you can dip in and out of it. This is a light version of the book that I arranged to be printed for you all so that it can be easily popped into your handbag, and if you have a car that you use, you could keep it in there as I do. There's always an opportunity to take up a book like this, even for a few minutes. I love this book and its predecessor. They are some of the best gifts that I ever received, and I'm so glad to have curated this second book of poetry for your June My Ireland box. I think that is so cool. So then there's a little bio about Kathleen Watkins. Now if you didn't know, I was an English major, and then I actually kind of focused on poetry, and I once upon a time considered myself a poet. I actually had the opportunity to meet Seamus Heaney. That was like a huge joy for me, and I have gotten kind of away from poetry, but I absolutely love what Catherine is talking about, what Kathleen was talking about in her first introduction, which is that is what is so beautiful about poetry, not only finding ways to make the words look gorgeous on the page, but to sound beautiful, to make words, to make visions, to make moments new. Forgive me for the sirens if you can hear them in the background, but that's what it's always about, is just kind of describing things in unique but beautiful, beautiful ways. I think when I was in college, I sort of described picking a mango like turning a light bulb or screwing in a light bulb, and it was just sort of a finding those different ways to explain things is what made me fancy myself a poet. Now, like I said, I've kind of gotten away from poetry, but I do think it is a great thing to have in your car, and maybe something just kind of, oh, Evan Bolland. So I love that she's got some great poems in here from poets that I know. So that's kind of nice. Let's see if I recognize any others. So Derek Walcott is in here, Patrick Kavanagh. So not necessarily, I don't think they're all necessarily Irish poets, but they might be actually. So let's see. Did we see any other Eamon? I don't see him in here. So, but some that I don't recognize. So I'm excited to tuck into this. Let me know again. I ask you questions all the time for you to respond in the comments below. Do you like getting a book of poems? If you have a favorite poem, share it with me below. If you have a favorite poet, I would love to hear that from you as well. And if you haven't checked out this box yet, I highly suggest it. It is always a delight, and I am so grateful that she sends it to me for review. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing. And hopefully that Dublin July box is already on the way.